really interesting just in the way that kind of almost a domino effect that each event I feel like has, maybe not dominoed, but later events kind of built on the initial protests, and they kind of, I feel like, gain momentum and just kind of spread awareness on campus. So I think what was interesting is just seeing kind of a few initial protests, the first one about Tina Evans, and then seeing the protest, or the basically rally in support of Alray Nelson, and then seeing an even bigger turnout kind of for peace with the Westboro Church visits. I think it's kind of interesting, the community, I think, has kind of taken a second look at Fort Lewis, just because they have been in the news so much, and just kind of reevaluating what the students are passionate about, and that they really are a force to be reckoned with. I think it's just interesting seeing the college on the front page a little bit more for them. I think, and it's also the tendency to, I guess, just kind of write off whatever college students are doing is kind of their own little world, their own microcosm of Fort Lewis, and it might not apply to the bigger community issues, but I think that especially the protest for peace in response to the Westboro visit, their planned visit, was definitely more of a community effort. And I don't know, I think the community's attention is a little bit more, I guess, aware of what's happening. I was at a similar protest for peace on CU's campus, and Fort Lewis's turnout dwarfed CU's numbers, which was really interesting just because CU is a school of 30,000 people. So I think that's what really surprised me, was seeing similar protests on those two campuses. I definitely think that awareness is growing about the struggles that that homosexuals or people of different races or any sort of group that faces discrimination, I think awareness has grown about their struggle, and I think it's not only on Fort Lewis's campus, it's been highly publicized in the last year or two, just the string of suicides and hate crimes related to homosexuals specifically, but I think that it's really interesting that we've kind of gotten a pretty first-hand look at the conflict and that kind of struggle right here in Durango, especially with President Nelson, and really his openness with his struggles and threats, etc., toward his sexual preference. But I think from what I gained his perspective is that the school has made progress, but it's still really hard to be gay in this society, and his opinion is that the threats that he falsified were a reaction to that, and take it or leave it, but I think at least the community is definitely more aware of that struggle, both on a national level and here in Durango. It was actually kind of a coincidence, but the discussions around the comments section were basically, why didn't we catch it earlier? Because those types of comments are prohibited on our website, and basically our web guys are supposed to take those down immediately. They were just busy, basically, but we definitely had a lot of discussions, and it prompted the managing editor and the publisher to meet, and really, I think it kind of we were moving towards having a more regulated comment section and making people register with their real name, and that had kind of been moving along, going toward that format of comments. But I think the comments incident related to the Tina Evans protest article really kind of moved that along, and so we definitely want to go towards that. The other issue is that we just moved over to a new website, and I think the comments section is basically, we haven't gotten it completely started, so it's also just in response to the fact that we have a new website.
Sure.
I think I kind of skipped over the part about what Alray's resignation has done to the campus, and I've only spoken with a few students about this, but I think a lot of students are just in shock about it, and I think it just gives them a bit of a critical perspective on the leadership, the student body leadership, just more of kind of paying a little bit more attention to what's going on up there. But I do think that a lot of Alray's friends and the people who supported him are definitely going to kind of continue their their movement toward equality and student voice, etc.